In the sprawling landscape of Hollywood, few names evoke as much intrigue and admiration as Mel Gibson. Born on January 3, 1956, in Peekskill, New York, his journey from a small-town boy to an international icon is nothing short of extraordinary. The youngest of 11 children in a devout Catholic family, Gibson's early years were steeped in faith and discipline, elements that would later permeate both his personal life and professional endeavors. His father, Hutton Gibson, was a writer and World War II veteran, whose strict yet nurturing approach shaped young Mel's worldview significantly. When Mel was 12, the family relocated to Sydney, Australia, seeking new opportunities, a move that would ultimately set the stage for his meteoric rise in the entertainment industry. Growing up down under proved transformative for Gibson. He attended St. Leo's College, where he initially pursued a career in business, before discovering his passion for acting. It was during these formative years that he developed a love for storytelling, drawn by the magic of cinema and theatre. This burgeoning interest led him to enroll at the National Institute of Dramatic Art, NIDE, one of Australia's premier drama schools. Here, surrounded by like-minded individuals who shared his zeal for performance, Gibson honed his craft with relentless dedication. NIDE not only provided technical training, but also instilled in him a deep appreciation for the nuances of character development and narrative depth. Even amidst rigorous studies, Gibson found time to immerse himself in local theatre productions, each role adding layers to his growing repertoire. His classmates often noted his magnetic presence on stage, an intoxicating blend of charisma and intensity that captivated audiences long before cameras ever rolled. These experiences laid the groundwork for what would become a legendary career, marked by performances that continue to resonate with viewers worldwide. As we delve deeper into his story, it becomes clear that every step along this path, from childhood dreams fostered within a tight-knit family to the disciplined halls of NIDA, was instrumental in forging the man who would redefine cinematic excellence. Mel Gibson's transition from theatrical stages to the silver screen began with modest roles that belied his future stardom. In the late 1970s, Australian cinema was experiencing a renaissance, offering fresh opportunities for emerging talents like Gibson. His debut film Summer City, released in 1977, might have slipped under the radar had it not been for his undeniable screen presence. Though the movie itself didn't achieve widespread acclaim, critics and audiences alike took notice of Gibson's raw talent and compelling energy. It was clear even then that he possessed something special, an ability to draw viewers into his world with just a glance or gesture. The real turning point came 2 years later when director George Miller cast him in Mad Max. Initially hesitant about taking on such a physically demanding role, Gibson eventually embraced the challenge. Driven by a mix of curiosity and necessity, he needed the paycheck after a recent car accident left him financially strained. Little did he know that this decision would catapult him into global fame. Released in 1979, Mad Max was a gritty, low-budget action film set in a dystopian future where societal collapse had given rise to chaos. Gibson played Max Rokotansky, a stoic police officer fighting against anarchic gangs terrorizing the highways. The film's high-octane chases, coupled with Gibson's brooding portrayal of a man pushed to his limits, struck a chord with audiences. Its success was immediate and overwhelming, establishing Gibson as a formidable force in action cinema. Following the triumph of Mad Max, Gibson quickly became synonymous with intense, larger-than-life characters. The sequel, Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior, premiered in 1981, further solidifying his status as an action hero. With its post-apocalyptic setting and breathtaking stunts, the film elevated Gibson's star power exponentially. Critics praised his nuanced performance, noting how he brought depth to what could have easily been a one-dimensional character. This pattern continued with subsequent films like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and other ventures outside the franchise, showcasing his versatility beyond the genre that first made him famous. As his reputation grew, so did his ambition. Gibson sought roles that allowed him to explore different facets of human emotion and experience. Films like Gallipoli demonstrated his capacity for poignant drama, portraying a young soldier caught up in the horrors of war. Similarly, The Year of Living Dangerously highlighted his ability to navigate complex political landscapes while maintaining emotional authenticity. Each project added another layer to his evolving legacy, proving that there was more to Mel Gibson than mere adrenaline-fueled escape. By the mid-1980s, Gibson had firmly established himself as one of Hollywood's brightest stars. His work ethic, combined with an innate understanding of storytelling, ensured that each role resonated deeply with viewers. Whether playing a hardened warrior or a vulnerable soul grappling with existential dilemmas, Gibson consistently delivered performances that lingered long after the credits rolled. His ascent wasn't merely due to luck or timing, it was the result of relentless dedication and an unwavering commitment to his craft. And yet, despite his growing fame, Gibson remained grounded, always striving to push boundaries and challenge himself creatively. As Mel Gibson's star continued its meteoric rise throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, his choice of roles became increasingly daring and diverse, reflecting both his artistic ambitions and strategic career moves. One of the most pivotal decisions during this period was his involvement in Lethal Weapon, directed by Richard Donner and released in 1987. Cast alongside Danny Glover, Gibson played Martin Riggs, a maverick cop struggling with personal demons while forming an unlikely partnership with the seasoned Roger Merton. The film blended intense action sequences with moments of genuine humor and heartfelt camaraderie, creating a template for buddy cop movies that remains influential today. Audiences were captivated not only by the thrilling storyline, but also by Gibson's ability to convey vulnerability beneath his tough exterior. This duality added layers to his character, making Riggs far more than just another action hero archetype. The success of Lethal Weapon spawned 3 sequels over the next decade, each building upon the chemistry between Gibson and Glover while expanding the scope of their adventures. However, it wasn't just box office numbers that defined these films' impact. They became cultural touchstones, embedding themselves in the collective consciousness through memorable lines, iconic scenes, and enduring themes of friendship and redemption. For Gibson, they represented a perfect synthesis of commercial appeal and substantive storytelling, allowing him to reach wider audiences without compromising his artistic integrity. Beyond the Lethal Weapon series, Gibson ventured into territory that showcased his range as an actor willing to tackle challenging material head-on. In 1990, he starred in Bird on a Wire, a romantic comedy thriller that paired him with Goldie Hawn. While lighter in tone compared to his previous work, the film demonstrated Gibson's comedic timing and charm, proving he could hold his own in genres beyond action dramas. Similarly, Ransom, released in 1996, saw him take on the role of a wealthy businessman whose son is kidnapped. Directed by Ron Howard, the film explored themes of desperation and moral ambiguity, pushing Gibson to deliver one of his most emotionally charged performances to date. His portrayal of Tom Mullen earned critical praise for its complexity and intensity, reaffirming his position as a leading man capable of commanding any genre. Perhaps no film better encapsulated Gibson's evolution as an actor during this era than Braveheart, released in 19. Not only did he star as William Wallace, the Scottish warrior, who led a rebellion against English rule, but he also directed the epic historical drama, a bold move that signaled his desire to exert greater creative control over his project. Immersing himself in every aspect of production, from script writing to choreographing battle scenes, Gibson poured his heart and soul into bringing Wallace's story to life. The result was a visually stunning and emotionally powerful film that resonated deeply with audiences worldwide. Braveheart swept the Academy Awards, winning 5 Oscars including Best Picture and Best Director for Gibson himself. This achievement marked a significant milestone in his career, elevating him from celebrated actor to visionary filmmaker. Throughout these years, Gibson's collaborations with directors like Donner and Howard underscored his willingness to learn from others while asserting his own voice. He understood the value of surrounding himself with talented creatives who could challenge and inspire him, fostering an environment where innovation thrived. At the same time, his increasing involvement behind the camera revealed a growing confidence in his abilities as a storyteller. Whether wielding a sword in Braveheart or navigating the complexities of modern crime in Lethal Weapon, Gibson approached each role with a sense of purpose and authenticity that resonated with viewers across generations. Yet, for all his professional accomplishments, Gibson's journey was not without its share of controversy and challenges. As his public profile expanded, so too did scrutiny of his personal life and belief. Media outlets frequently speculated about his relationships, religious convictions, and outspoken views on various social issues. Some of these controversies threatened to overshadow his artistic achievements, sparking heated debates about the intersection of celebrity and ideology. Despite or perhaps because of these obstacles, Gibson remained steadfast in pursuing his vision, unafraid to confront difficult subjects both on screen and off. In many ways, the 1980s and 1990s represented a period of profound transformation for Mel Gibson. From breakout star to multifaceted artist, he navigated the shifting tides of Hollywood with remarkable resilience and determination. Each role, whether comedic or tragic, action-packed or introspective, contributed to a body of work that continues to inspire admiration and respect. And though the road ahead would present new trials and triumphs, the foundation laid during these decades ensured that Gibson's legacy as a cinematic icon was secure. As Mel Gibson entered the new millennium, his career trajectory took unexpected turns, marked by groundbreaking successes and deeply polarizing controversies. The year 2004 saw the release of The Passion of the Christ, a film that would redefine not only his standing in Hollywood, but also ignite fierce debates around the world. Directed by Gibson himself, the movie depicted the final hours of Jesus Christ's life, with unflinching intensity and graphic detail. Shot entirely in Aramaic, Latin, and Hebrew, the film aimed for historical authenticity, immersing viewers in a visceral retelling of biblical events. Upon its release, The Passion of the Christ shattered box office records, becoming one of the highest-grossing R-rated films of all time. Its financial success was matched only by the fervent reactions it elicited, from devout Christians, who hailed it as a spiritual masterpiece, to critics who accused it of perpetuating anti-Semitic undertones. The backlash surrounding the film revealed fault lines within society, forcing conversations about faith, representation, and artistic freedom. For Gibson, the experience was both exhilarating and exhausting. On one hand, he reveled in the opportunity to bring his deeply held beliefs to the forefront of mainstream culture. On the other, he found himself at the center of a media storm that tested his resolve. Interviews turned contentious, with journalists probing not just the content of the film but also Gibson's personal views on religion and politics. While some defended his right to tell this story, others questioned whether such a polarizing figure should wield such immense influence over popular discourse. Through it all, Gibson stood firm, asserting that his intentions were rooted in reverence rather than provocation. Just as the dust began to settle from The Passion of the Christ, another controversy erupted, casting an even darker shadow over Gibson's reputation. In July 2006, he was arrested for driving under the influence following a traffic stop in Malibu, California. During the incident, Gibson allegedly made anti-Semitic remarks to the arresting officer, statements that were leaked to the press and ignited widespread outrage. Overnight, the actor-director went from being celebrated as a visionary filmmaker to vilified as a bigot. Apologies poured forth, both publicly and privately, but the damage had been done. Industry insiders distanced themselves, and projects once eagerly anticipated were shelved or recast. For years afterward, Gibson struggled to reclaim his place in Hollywood, facing boycotts and calls for accountability that seemed insurmountable. Despite these setbacks, Gibson refused to retreat entirely from the spotlight. Instead, he channeled his frustrations into his next major project, Apocalypto, released later in 2006. Set in pre-Columbian Mesoamerica, the film followed a young man's harrowing quest for survival amid the collapse of the Mayan civilization. Once again, Gibson opted for linguistic authenticity, filming in Yucatec Maya, and employing non-professional actors to lend the story an air of raw realism. Critics marveled at the film's technical brilliance, its sweeping cinematography, intricate set pieces, and pulse-pounding action sequences, but many couldn't help viewing it through the lens of recent scandals. Was this violent odyssey merely a reflection of Gibson's artistic sensibilities, or was it symptomatic of deeper issues? Regardless of interpretation, Apocalypto demonstrated Gibson's unwavering commitment to crafting ambitious, large-scale narratives that challenged conventional storytelling norms. By the late 2000s, Gibson appeared to be in professional exile, his name synonymous with controversy rather than creativity. Yet, true to form, he refused to let adversity define him. Slowly but surely he began rebuilding bridges, taking smaller roles in independent films,
and collaborating with directors who still believed in his talent. A supporting part in Jodie Foster's The Beaver, 2011 showcased his ability to inhabit complex, flawed characters, earning cautious praise from critics who acknowledged his willingness to embrace vulnerability. Around the same time, rumors swirled about potential directing gigs, suggesting that Hollywood hadn't completely closed its doors on him. It wasn't until 2016, however, that Gibson staged what many considered a triumphant return to prominence with Hacksaw Ridge. Based on the true story of Desmond Doss, a conscientious objector who saved dozens of lives during World War II without ever firing a shot, the film marked a departure from Gibson's earlier penchant for violence as spectacle. Instead, it focused on themes of courage, conviction, and compassion, resonating deeply with audiences weary of cynicism and despair. Andrew Garfield's stirring lead performance, coupled with Gibson's masterful direction, garnered widespread acclaim, culminating in 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director, and 2 wins for sound mixing and editing. Suddenly, the man once dismissed as irredeemable was back in contention, celebrated for his ability to weave intimate human drama into epic historical canvases. Throughout this tumultuous period, Gibson's personal life remained equally fraught with challenges. High-profile relationships, including marriages to Robin Moore and Oksana Grigorieva, dominated tabloid headlines, often overshadowing his professional endeavors. Legal battles over custody arrangements and allegations of domestic abuse further tarnished his image, leaving fans divided over whether to separate the art from the artist. Meanwhile, his outspoken comments on topics ranging from vaccines to political correctness continued to spark outrage, ensuring that his name remained a lightning rod for debate. And yet, despite or perhaps because of these contradictions, Mel Gibson embodied the quintessential Hollywood paradox, a man capable of inspiring awe and ire in equal measure. His ability to navigate this precarious balance spoke volumes about his resilience, adaptability, and sheer force of will. Whether viewed as a misunderstood genius or a problematic provocateur, there was no denying the indelible mark he left on cinema. Even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, Gibson persisted, driven by an unyielding belief in the transformative power of storytelling.
Behind the dazzling lights of Hollywood and the thunderous applause of packed theaters, lies a more private side of Mel Gibson, one shaped profoundly by his faith, family dynamics, and deeply ingrained values. Raised in a devout Catholic household, Gibson's spiritual upbringing has always been a cornerstone of his identity, influencing everything from his choice of film projects to his approach to fatherhood. Unlike many celebrities who compartmentalize their beliefs, Gibson wears his faith openly, often speaking candidly about how it informs his worldview and creative decisions. This sincerity, while endearing to some, has occasionally placed him at odds with those who view organized religion with skepticism or outright hostility. Nevertheless, Gibson remains steadfast, finding solace and strength in rituals, prayer, and community service that anchor him amidst life's inevitable storms. Family, too, occupies a central place in Gibson's life, serving as both a source of joy and occasional turbulence. As the father of 9 children, 7 with ex-wife Robin Moore and 2 with former partner Oksana Grigorieva, Gibson has navigated the complexities of parenthood with varying degrees of success. His dedication to providing for his kids is evident in the way he structures his work schedule, often prioritizing family time despite the demands of a high-profile career. However, his personal relationships have not been without controversy. Public disputes over custody arrangements and accusations of misconduct have cast shadows over what might otherwise be seen as a loving, albeit unconventional family dynamic. Despite these challenges, Gibson speaks fondly of his children, describing them as his greatest accomplishment and a constant reminder of life's deeper purpose. Values instilled during his formative years continue to shape Gibson's interactions with the world, coloring his perspectives on morality, justice, and human dignity. Loyalty, honor, and perseverance are virtues he champions both personally and professionally, qualities reflected in the stories he chooses to tell and the characters he brings to life. Off-screen, friends describe him as fiercely protective of those he loves, quick to defend against perceived slights, and unapologetically direct in his communication style. These traits, while admirable in certain contexts, have sometimes led to clashes with colleagues and collaborators who prefer diplomacy over candor. Yet, those closest to him attest that beneath the tough exterior lies a man of surprising tenderness, capable of profound empathy and generosity. Gibson's connection to his heritage adds another layer of complexity to his persona. Proud of his Irish-Australian roots, he embraces traditions that celebrate resilience, storytelling, and communal bonds. Family gatherings often feature lively discussions, music, and laughter, creating spaces where vulnerability is welcomed rather than shunned. Such environments allow him to recharge, drawing inspiration from shared histories and collective wisdom. They also provide a buffer against the isolating effects of fame, grounding him in realities far removed from red carpets and studio lots. In quieter moments, away from prying eyes, Gibson indulges in hobbies that reflect his eclectic tastes and restless intellect. An avid reader, he devours books on theology, philosophy, and history, seeking insights that enrich his understanding of humanity's shared journey. Conversations with peers reveal a mind perpetually curious, eager to explore ideas that challenge conventional thinking. This intellectual rigor extends to his filmmaking process, where meticulous research and attention to detail ensure authenticity in every frame. Even when tackling controversial subjects, Gibson approaches them with a scholar's diligence, determined to honor the truth as he sees it. Philanthropy rounds out Gibson's off-screen pursuits, offering opportunities to give back to communities in need. Over the years, he has supported numerous charitable causes, focusing particularly on initiatives related to education, healthcare, and disaster relief. His contributions, though rarely publicized, underscore a commitment to using his resources for the greater good, a testament to the humility that coexists with his larger-than-life persona. Friends note that acts of kindness come naturally to him, motivated less by obligation than by genuine concern for others' well-being. Ultimately, Mel Gibson's private life reveals a man of contrasts, deeply spiritual, yet unafraid to question dogma, fiercely loyal yet occasionally embroiled in conflict, passionately creative yet grounded in practical reality. These dualities make him simultaneously relatable and enigmatic, inviting speculation while resisting easy categorization. As he continues to evolve, both personally and professionally, one thing remains clear: beneath the layers of fame and infamy lies a human being driven by love, loss, hope, and an abiding desire to leave the world better than he found it. Mel Gibson's impact on the film industry cannot be overstated, as his contributions have reverberated across multiple dimensions, shaping not only the movies we watch, but also the broader cultural landscape. One of the most striking aspects of his influence is his ability to redefine the action genre, transforming it from formulaic shootouts into richly textured narratives, infused with emotional depth and moral complexity. Through films like Mad Max, Lethal Weapon, and Braveheart, Gibson introduced a new archetype of the action hero, one who grapples with personal demons, wrestles with ethical dilemmas, and transcends brute force to embody resilience and humanity. This evolution paved the way for subsequent generations of filmmakers and actors to explore similarly layered characters, elevating the genre beyond mere spectacle to something far more meaningful. His pioneering work behind the camera further cemented his status as a trailblazer. As a director, Gibson demonstrated an uncanny knack for visual storytelling, utilizing innovative techniques to immerse audiences in worlds both fantastical and historically accurate. Consider The Passion of the Christ, which employed authentic languages and painstaking attention to period-specific details to create an unparalleled sense of realism. Similarly, Apocalypto showcased his mastery of pacing and tension, weaving together breathtaking visuals with gut-wrenching drama to craft an unforgettable cinematic experience. By pushing boundaries and challenging conventions, Gibson inspired countless directors to take creative risks and prioritize substance over style. His films became benchmarks for excellence, prompting others to strive for similar heights of craftsmanship and ambition. Beyond technical achievements, Gibson's body of work has sparked vital conversations about identity, faith, and history, underscoring the power of cinema as a medium for social commentary. Movies like Braveheart and Hacksaw Ridge delve into themes of patriotism, sacrifice, and individual agency, encouraging viewers to reflect on their own values and responsibilities. These narratives often resonate deeply with audiences, igniting debates that extend far beyond the confines of the theater. For instance, The Passion of the Christ reignited discussions about religious representation in media, forcing society to grapple with questions of inclusivity and sensitivity. While such dialogues can be divisive, they underscore the importance of art in fostering dialogue and promoting understanding. Moreover, Gibson's career serves as a case study in resilience and reinvention, offering valuable lessons for aspiring artists navigating the unpredictable waters of Hollywood. Despite facing career-threatening controversies and public backlash, he refused to retreat into obscurity, instead choosing to rebuild his reputation through hard work and unwavering determination. His comeback with Hacksaw Ridge stands as a testament to the idea that failure is not final, that even those who stumble can rise again with grace and conviction. This message resonates powerfully with creators and dreamers everywhere, reminding them that perseverance often separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Within the industry itself, Gibson's legacy is felt through the collaborative spirit he fosters and the standards he sets. Known for his hands-on approach, he works closely with writers, cinematographers, editors, and actors to ensure that every element aligns with his singular vision. This collaborative ethos has earned him respect among peers, many of whom cite his dedication and passion as sources of inspiration. Furthermore, his emphasis on authenticity, whether through language, costumes, or settings, has raised the bar for historical epics and biographical dramas, challenging filmmakers to invest in thorough research and immersive world building. In doing so, he has helped shift the industry's focus toward quality over quantity, prioritizing meaningful storytelling over fleeting trends. On a broader cultural level, Gibson's films tap into universal emotions and timeless struggles, transcending geographical and generational divides. Characters like William Wallace and Desmond Doss embody ideals of courage, loyalty, and selflessness that resonate across cultures, uniting audiences in shared admiration for their heroism. At the same time, his willingness to tackle difficult subjects, from religious persecution to systemic oppression, invites viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about the human condition. By holding up a mirror to society, Gibson's work encourages introspection and empathy, qualities essential for progress and unity in an increasingly fragmented world. Of course, his influence is not without nuance. The controversies surrounding his personal life and outspoken views have sparked debates about the separation of art and artist, forcing audiences to grapple with conflicting emotions. Should we celebrate the brilliance of a filmmaker whose beliefs or behavior may clash with our own? Can we appreciate the beauty of a film without endorsing its creator? These questions highlight the complexity of engaging with art in a morally ambiguous world, challenging us to think critically about the stories we consume and the voices we amplify. Ultimately, Mel Gibson's enduring contribution to the film industry lies in his ability to provoke thought, stir emotion, and inspire action. Whether through the adrenaline-fueled excitement of an action sequence or the quiet poignancy of a character's internal struggle, his films leave indelible impressions, lingering long after the credits roll. They remind us of cinema's unique capacity to transport, transform, and transcend, to connect us to something greater than ourselves. And in doing so, they affirm the enduring power of storytelling to shape hearts, minds, and history. Looking ahead, Mel Gibson's future prospects remain as intriguing and unpredictable as the twists and turns of his storied career. With several projects rumored to be in development, including potential sequels and new directorial ventures, there is a palpable sense of anticipation surrounding what he might accomplish next. Speculation abounds regarding whether he will continue to explore historical epics or pivot toward contemporary themes that reflect the pressing issues of our time. Given his track record of defying expectations, it seems likely that whatever Gibson chooses to pursue will challenge conventions and push creative boundaries, leaving audiences once again marveling at his audacity and vision. One area ripe for exploration is the intersection of technology and traditional filmmaking. As advancements in CGI, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence reshape the cinematic landscape, Gibson could harness these tools to enhance his signature style of immersive storytelling. Imagine a historical drama rendered with unprecedented realism, blending cutting-edge effects with the tactile authenticity he so ardently champions. Alternatively, he might delve into science fiction or fantasy genres, leveraging digital innovations to construct worlds limited only by imagination. Such experiments would not only expand his repertoire but also position him at the forefront of a rapidly evolving industry. Collaboration remains another avenue through which Gibson can continue to innovate. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated a keen eye for talent, working alongside luminaries like Russell Crowe, Heath Ledger, and Andrew Garfield. Future partnerships could introduce fresh voices and perspectives, invigorating his creative process and yielding results that surprise even the most ardent fans. Moreover, mentoring emerging filmmakers offers an opportunity to pass down knowledge accumulated over decades,
ensuring that his legacy extends beyond individual achievements to encompass a broader impact on the craft itself. However, the path forward won't be without hurdles. The controversies that have dogged him persist, casting long shadows that may complicate casting choices, financing deals and distribution strategy. Navigating this terrain requires not just artistic acumen but also diplomatic finesse, a delicate balancing act between staying true to one's convictions and adapting to shifting societal norms. Yet, if anyone possesses the tenacity to overcome such obstacles, it is Mel Gibson. His history of bouncing back from setbacks suggests that he thrives under pressure, channeling adversity into fuel for reinvention. Public perception will undoubtedly play a crucial role in determining his trajectory. As younger generations discover his films through streaming platforms and retrospectives, they bring fresh eyes and open minds to his work. Freed from the baggage of past scandals, these viewers may embrace his artistry on its own merits, appreciating the technical brilliance and emotional resonance that define his best efforts. Social media too presents a double-edged sword. While it amplifies criticism, it also provides a platform for direct engagement, allowing Gibson to communicate directly with fans and dispel misconceptions. Ultimately, the question looms: how does Mel Gibson wish to be remembered? Is it as a maverick who dared to defy convention, a storyteller whose works endure across generations, or simply as a man driven by an insatiable curiosity about the human experience? Perhaps the answer encompasses all three and more. Whatever direction he takes, one thing is certain: Mel Gibson will approach it with the same ferocity and passion that have characterized his journey thus far. Whether scaling new heights or confronting lingering doubts, he embodies the quintessential spirit of a creator unafraid to venture into the unknown, and in doing so, he reminds us all of the infinite possibilities contained within the realm of imagination. Reflecting on Mel Gibson's remarkable journey through the annals of Hollywood history, one cannot help but marvel at the sheer magnitude of his contributions and the indelible mark he has left on the fabric of cinema. From humble beginnings in a close-knit Catholic family to becoming a global icon whose name commands recognition, respect and sometimes controversy, Gibson's story is one of relentless ambition, boundless creativity, and unwavering resilience. His ascent from promising young actor to multi-hyphenate powerhouse actor, director, producer, screenwriter is a testament to his tireless pursuit of excellence, and his refusal to settle for mediocrity. Each phase of his career, marked by groundbreaking performances and visionary filmmaking, has pushed the envelope, challenging audiences and peers alike to rethink what cinema can achieve. At the core of Gibson's enduring appeal lies his unparalleled ability to inhabit characters with a depth and authenticity that transcend the screen. Whether portraying the tormented Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon, the valiant William Wallace in Braveheart, or the compassionate Desmond Doss in Hacksaw Ridge, he infuses every role with a raw emotional intensity that captivates and inspires. This gift for storytelling extends beyond acting. As a director, Gibson exhibits a rare alchemy of technical precision and narrative insight, crafting films that are as intellectually stimulating as they are viscerally engaging. His commitment to authenticity, evident in everything from linguistic accuracy to meticulously recreated historical settings, underscores a dedication to honoring the truth of each story he tells. Yet Gibson's legacy is not confined to the accolades and awards that line his trophy cabinet. It is woven into the cultural zeitgeist, influencing how we perceive heroism, morality, and the human condition. His films invite us to wrestle with profound questions about faith, identity, and justice, sparking conversations that ripple through classrooms, dinner tables, and online forums. They remind us of the power of art to illuminate darkness, bridge divides, and foster empathy, a reminder sorely needed in an era often characterized by polarization and disconnect. Of course, no discussion of Gibson's legacy would be complete without acknowledging the complexities that accompany his achievements. Controversies surrounding his personal life and outspoken views have cast shadows over his professional accomplishments, prompting debates about the interplay between art and artist. Yet rather than diminishing his impact, these controversies serve as a mirror reflecting broader societal tensions and ambiguities. They challenge us to engage critically with the stories we cherish and the figures who bring them to life, urging us to navigate the gray areas with nuance and compassion. As we look back on Mel Gibson's storied career, it becomes clear that his significance extends far beyond box office numbers or critical acclaim. He represents a paradigm shift in how we conceive of and interact with cinema, a shift toward greater complexity, inclusivity and intentionality. His willingness to take risks, confront uncomfortable truths, and champion underrepresented voices has paved the way for a new generation of filmmakers unafraid to push boundaries and question norms. In doing so, he has not only enriched the cinematic canon, but also expanded the horizons of possibility for storytellers everywhere. In essence, Mel Gibson's legacy is one of transformation, a transformation of genres, of narratives, of perceptions, and ultimately of himself. He has shown us that greatness is not merely about achieving success, but about embracing vulnerability, learning from failure, and continually striving to grow. As long as there are stories waiting to be told, lessons waiting to be learned, and hearts waiting to be moved, Mel Gibson's influence will endure, echoing through the corridors of time and reminding us why we fell in love with movies in the first place.